Okay.
Looks good.
I'd like to call the order, the Conservation Commission meeting at 5:30. Everybody had a chance to review the minutes from this October 15th meeting.
I'll make a motion, we accept the minutes as written.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous? Okay. Okay, any bills?
Two bills there, please.
No, wait. Is everybody here? Dave and I were not here, so was Dave saying yet to the meetings?
No, he didn't vote. Did you, Dave?
No, I didn't vote,
He didn't vote.
because it says I was absent.
Yeah, I just wanna make sure that you.
Unexcused absence.
He brought a note from his
We were
mother.
waiting for you. Gail wanted me to text you so that you know the meeting was over. You didn't show
You
up.
were at some other meeting or
That's why
something.
it's an unexcused absence.
Couldn't get out.
Okay, any correspondence?
Just one from the planning board, a couple of things that are going before the planning board. Just as a heads up.
Okay, so we have some announcements from the planning board that'll, for property at 661 South Street West, as well as Metro Ford and Kia. They're looking for additions. The planning board will hold a meeting on Thursday, November 6th, and then I assume they will come in front of us after that. Do we need to look at the plans now? No.
No, I just wanted to make sure you
Okay.
knew it was there. If you want to review it, it'll be in the conservation
Metro
office.
Ford, you said,
Yes,
Bill?
yes.
I think what they're doing is off the back of the building. I don't think they can give jurisdiction over that.
We had all that.
But there's
stuff.
already an order of conditions on the
Conditions
property,
on the
so
wall.
where does that?
They didn't, they haven't come in for
COC.
COC, have they? No. Okay. All right, anything else?
Just the RK. I didn't know if you wanted to do anything with it.
Okay, everybody has a letter in their pack from RK Associates,
Yes.
giving us a status of the update of their enforcement order. They've pretty much, according to the notes here, have finished the work. They've engaged the surveyors, and they are looking at probably the spring of 2015 to finish the planting and removal of some of the trees that didn't fare well from the original planting. So they're looking to come back to us in the, they called it the winter session, wherever that means, to put a plan together to finish the project for the first part of the spring of 2015.
They have, called the other day,
Yeah.
and I called Azu. They wanted to cut some of the phragmites so that they could do their survey and locate everything.
Right.
And he was looking to, because they were supposed to do that today.
Okay.
They have a couple of different reports on soils and existing conditions out there and what's growing and what will go. They've had several different people look at it since the trees failed. So it's put a new plan together and get it approved by MassDOT and come to us. And so that's gonna take a while with MassDOT.
Well, we've also gone beyond the planting season as well, so.
Right.
They've moved
Yeah,
into the
yeah,
spring.
no, they're planning on doing,
So,
so,
essentially, the enforcement order remains in effect.
mhm.
And will go forward. And we'll talk to them in their fall update, or winter update to us, and then we'll reassess back in the springtime. But as far as this board's concerned, the enforcement order remains in effect, and we'll
Until such
carry
time
that
as they
forward.
complete everything, yeah.
So we should probably, well, I'll get to that in the next session. Okay, any other correspondence?
Yep.
Okay. Any site visits? All right, now, in terms of the enforcement order for RK Associates on the informal, that'll be, should be continued until the next session. Do I have a motion?
You want a motion on that? For
Yeah.
the,
Have we received the as-built yet for the drainage swales from the BPM? Have they gone out?
They just
Yeah.
did the stuff today.
Oh, okay.
The survey.
Do you want that as a two, Bill?
Yes.
Put the both, or you want that in one motion, or?
You can put it in one motion.
The continued enforcement order for RK Associates, 600 South Street West, and the continued enforcement order, Mass DOT Route 24 and 44, RK Associates, 600 Southwest. I propose we continue that enforcement order.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Continued. Okay, request for extension on order of conditions for DEP SC 2690877, John and Mary Dominique, 57 Pamela Way. What's the details there?
Yeah, they've still got a little bit more work to do. Remember, that was the notice of intent that they filed as a result of the enforcement order that the commission had issued. The order of conditions will run out pretty much tomorrow. Right, so
And they're not ready.
they're not ready. So one of give them extension, and in the spring they will come and wrap it up.
With the town new bylaw, there's a filing fee for an extension? Have they been notified of
And they're
that?
Yeah.
Okay.
They have.
Motion.
It's the pool that they
What's
want.
Pamela's Way?
It's right off of,
Oh, the one
Ridge.
behind us, the
Yeah.
guy with the,
It's the pool that they
The
haven't
wall.
finished.
yeah, okay.
Motion to approve an extension.
Second.
How long?
a year.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, I extended it until for 3 years.
Is it a
We
long
discussed
time
it the
for
other day, and we said 3. Do
minor?
you want me to change it? or-
No.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, all right.
The motion was for a 3-year extension.
Mm.
That's what I said, I was
Okay.
confused.
Yeah, and that's what I seconded.
I think this isn't a court of law, I'll tell you that.
Could be.
Yeah. Right.
You're the judge.
Okay.
Your Honor.
The next item, I'm going to hold off until the end of the meeting. Correspondence, discussion, and order of conditions for DEP file number 2690907, Jennifer Gallagher, 102 Lounsbury Drive. What's
We were extended till 6
the
years?
story about that?
Yeah, that's the one that the commission approved last meeting.
Right.
And give them the order of conditions for the pool.
Bullshit.
So, and they're trying to make it a 22 by 36 as opposed to, right, and
They changed the size, so that's a minor.
because of the shape of the pool. And that's really inconsequential. So,
So, no,
so just to find that it's a minor modification that does not require,
no big deal.
yeah.
Are we requiring them on the final
I got a
as-built?
technical
So,
question here.
That's
yes.
okay.
I'm sorry?
We got a technical question here.
Yeah.
Is it okay to take phone calls during a conservation meeting?
Absolutely. This started out on Pamela's Way as an enforcement order,
Yes.
okay? The enforcement order is still in effect until the project's
Yes,
fixed.
yeah.
So why would we be giving a 3-year extension on a notice, even though it's a notice of intent to fix
Yeah.
the problem, why would we be granting a 3-year extension?
No, because in that, first of all, they had actually filed a request for determination and along with a notice of intent.
Yeah, but it was in reaction to a,
Not the request for determination. The request for determination was for the work that they do. Remember, they were building the wall and bringing it outside, and we had given them an enforcement order because of the complaint from the neighbors.
yeah, and
Okay.
the wall wasn't on any plan that they put on, if I
Right.
remember right.
That's
So
correct.
that's where the enforcement order came in.
Right, but
So
then,
now I understand, they're trying to fix the property in accordance with the enforcement order and stuff. So
plus
do the work
additional
that they had originally scheduled.
Right, so you allowed that, so you did not, we did not separate, because they did come here. That was done I think SciTech was the company that, did the application for them, and the commission said, yeah, that's fine, because at the end of the day, when we went out there, yes, the enforcement order was in order, but they addressed the erosion problem that they created right at that same time.
What they're waiting for is they haven't finished putting the pool in the backyard. And they've come to the end of the season, he said, and
Right.
he can't get it in now, and he wants to put it in the spring.
Did we lift the enforcement order? Has that been closed out?
No, it hasn't been closed out, because we left it open just in case.
Okay, then, can we,
I have a hard time with it.
how about we, can we extend the enforcement order for a year?
Well, the enforcement orders, you don't need to extend it. It's on. You never voted to lift it.
back up, until it's closed, right.
You never lifted it up.
Dave just has a problem with the 3-year extension.
That's you.
It's not a phone call, though.
Do we want to revisit that? We can't really.
You can reconsider what you did. I mean, that's,
Just take it one step different. We've given RK a enforcement order,
Yes.
and now they put out a notice of intent to fix their property. Do we want to give them 3 years to comply?
well, the order of conditions was 3 years anyway. That's what the order of, you can't give an order of conditions less than the minimum that the state mandates.
So the order of conditions is for 3 years.
Right, you accepted the work that they proposed, and they said, okay, we're gonna give you an order of conditions for that. You didn't keep it as an enforcement order, the enforcement order, you leave it open as an incentive for them to do the work that they said they're gonna do, and therefore, with the fine that you have also imposed, that is still outstanding. So you did not do the order of condition. First of all, if you had given them a year, for example, and the trees are dying, the trees haven't survived yet, and you were gonna require anyway 2 year growing seasons, right?
Yeah.
So you can't do it 1 year like that for the amount of work that's necessary.
I don't see that there's a conflict here. I mean, the enforcement order will stand. We're just allowing them more time to finish that work.
It's in
The
the-
I mean,
enforcement order doesn't go away.
It's in their best interest to finish the work sooner.
I mean,
If they have an
I
open
get that,
COC
it just,
on it,
it just,
it's still
it seems kind
recorded
of
as deeds.
an odd situation where there's an enforcement order in effect, and we're saying, well, yeah, take your time. I just find it a little odd,
No,
but
you're not saying
that's fine.
you're not saying take your time, because the work that was necessary to address the erosion that occurred has already been done. It's already been done. Okay, you just did not require them to file 2 separate notices of intent, that's all.
All right,
You okay?
I'll never be okay, but we can move on.
Are you moderately happy?
No.
Okay.
Could we put that enforcement order up for review at the first meeting in June? For a status
Yeah.
update on the pool? And I think that would make a little more comfort, and if they know that the enforcement order is gonna be revisited.
Yep, okay, we can do that.
But we will do that in form of writing though, a letter.
Yes.
As opposed to part of the extension.
I would make a motion that we put that enforcement order for Dominique on Pamela Way
To close it out.
up for review at the first meeting in June,
2015?
yeah, and request, because that gives them time to get the pool in,
Okay.
and request their status update.
That brings their attention to the enforcement order.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. We'll add that letter to, when we send
Let's
the
do it now.
correspondence out.
That works, doesn't it?
Okay.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
Be excused for a minute. I'll be back.
Oh, they stirred the pot, now he leaves.
You want to note in the record that he bailed on it? Okay,
We're on the pool.
Did we
Jennifer Gallagher.
do the pool one? I don't remember.
We started
We're in
to.
the middle of it.
And then I had asked Azu if they know that they have to reflect the changes on the as-built.
Yes. Yeah, and if you note on my note, I put that in there,
Okay. Do I get a motion on that, please?
Motion.
To adopt the size changes?
No, to
The pool.
Consider it a minor modification.
consider it
Yeah.
the minor modification, so that the order of conditions can
So
stay.
moved.
You have a second?
Second.
Nope, it was here.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Jeez, like herding cats.
Tough crowd tonight.
I know. Ooh, Miss Dave, you got us all worked up.
Sorry, wait.
Okay, why don't we move on to the formal notice of intent? Do we need to read this again? No, because
Did we open,
this.
no.
We didn't
No, no,
Didn't-
because they had to read
We
it, they had
opened
to
up
do
last
it.
night.
All right, so this is notice of intent for DEP filed SE 2690908, Town of Raynham, Sewer Department Phase 6 Sewer System Extension. Do we have the green
The tear sheet
tear sheets?
from the Gazette?
I didn't receive it, but
Yeah. I don't think we ever officially opened it,
No, we didn't.
No, we haven't,
Okay.
because they had to be
Because-
We
re-advertised.
don't have the.
because we didn't have
But
the
you have
paper.
to bring the tear sheet.
And the
the
announcement.
tear sheet wasn't provided by the Gazette.
That's in the submittal,
Understand?
Because we had all the green cards last time.
But she had to,
But we asked for,
but it
No.
wasn't
wasn't
advertised
in
in time.
time, so
Right.
she had to do it again.
right.
One we've been at.
Aye, it's on the good one.
Is that a week ago, or is that today's?
Huh?
Is that today's? Did you get that downstairs? Yeah, so it wouldn't be in there.
I mean, she sent me the
It shouldn't
information,
be.
but it doesn't,
The information
physically, we have to see the Gazette and have it in front of us to
Yeah,
read
with the
directly.
with the date, just like that, it says community, you know.
I mean, I know you sent it to me and all of that, but I need the paper to physically read it from the paper. That's part of our submittal requirements.
would it be acceptable if I could pull it up electronically?
Well, if you pull it up electronically, and it actually shows it, and you can print it. You just have the ability to email it, and we can print it out. Because you can't, you gotta have the document in front of you.
I don't think you're gonna be able to find it online.
I don't think so, that's the problem.
That's the whole problem.
That's what, all we've got here is the bill, the order. In other words, just saying that they ordered it.
But not the
No,
publication.
no.
Right.
Okay.
Because the Gazette might have also possibly screwed up and not publish it, so you need.
If it didn't get in the paper. we
Yeah,
don't know.
yeah.
That's
So
why
you
we
need-
have
you-
to have
That's why
it.
we have to have the tear sheets.
So,
We can't do anything with this.
I found this before on there, but it still doesn't help us with having a hard copy.
If it's,
you did find it under the Gazette?
Well, no, I found an incident we had about a year ago, the same
A
thing.
notice?
But you have to go back to whenever it was published
Oh, we
and
never
look
let
for that
anybody else?
paper, and they usually don't keep those papers online.
Yeah.
When was this,
I mean-
when was this published?
Oh, we
Do we
don't
know?
I mean,
Yeah,
this,
enjoyed it.
this, but you see, the thing though is, just like Dave was pointing out, with the issue of the enforcement order and stuff, we've had, I know for a fact that, there was an application by Outback, and they did not bring the, something actually happened to RK. When they came here and they didn't have huh?
Pleasant Street was the
Pleasant,
original?
right, so unfortunately, it's not technical, but those are the procedural, one of the procedural items.
and that's state, right, not even us.
Huh?
Both, that's our bylaw too. That's the middle
Yeah.
regulations.
State too, though.
Yeah,
It's with the
proof
state.
of, yeah,
So if we don't
because we
physically
wanna,
have,
right, have that, and,
have the paper to prove that it was published, so that the abutters were notified, and
Yeah.
we have the right time frame for notification, we really can't proceed going any further with the motion.
yeah.
Well, would it be feasible, because I have it here, published on Friday, October 24th, if I were to email this to Gail and have her
Print it out.
print it?
Is that
I realize
acceptable?
that's unorthodox.
I would, If
but
it's,
that's the legal notice.
does it show the date on
It
that
does-
legal
It
notice?
does.
Yes, appeared in Taunton Daily Gazette on October 24th, is that the right one?
Yes.
Sewer
Is that-
expansion?
Basics,
Is that,
contract
give
number
us
5.
time? October 24th, is that within our time frame?
Well, October
Oh, yeah,
24th.
yeah, that's
Yeah,
right, yes.
yeah, because it's 5 business days.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, I have it here.
Yeah.
Under the public notices from
I
Massachusetts.
don't have a, I don't want to be, Mr. Head, I don't have a problem if we can have
I
that
would say
printed.
that they have to get a copy of that paper and get it to us
Well-
before any order of conditions would be issued. I would,
Can-
You mean, you don't think
I
I
they
would make a motion that
electronically?
we open this based on the fact that we've seen it.
Well, how about getting an electronic copy?
I can be, I can, well, I think that they can get us they can get us a hard copy. And I think they have to get us a hard copy.
But, I mean, well, but to open the meeting, to have it in our hand, I don't know. What do you think,
Yeah.
Basil?
Well, I mean, it's, you can do whatever you want to do and say you have an electronic, but, you know, for the purposes of the, public hearing process, that's not, it didn't say in the absence of this. So you actually sort of kind of making up the rule to accommodate it.
But, and that will set a precedent.
Yeah, that was set as precedent. And then,
And that's the
what if
danger.
somebody else comes here, and then they have the ability to email it, and then you're suspending the hearing process, the meeting process, to go get a document printed. I mean, that's,
So I make a motion that you don't listen to me.
Right?
no, I'm just.
I understand exactly what you're saying.
My only concern is that we are setting a precedent here, and I
Right.
don't want to set, I don't think we should be setting a precedent.
But if we all visually see it electronically,
But you said, okay, that sets the precedent, so anyone else can come before us and do the same thing.
Are we holding up meetings up, left or right?
It's, you know, it's one of those, you know, we look at our, you know, to make light of the whole issue, but it's like you were in Congress. Somebody's saying, reading, and it, you know, it didn't, you, just on the technicality of, you know, of the procedure, it's a procedural
Come back to
item.
it. And
yeah, the law in our bylaw clearly states that we have to physically see that document. And if we
part of the
grant you an abeyance of that, then it carries on to everyone else that we have to deal with, so we
And I'm
really can't go forward.
Right, and somebody, and take it in one step further, somebody can come in here and say, oh, I've got the ad, I just happen to not notify the abutters. Or I don't have the green cards, but trust me, I did it, you know?
all right,
So it's,
So,
that's why I said,
it's
I think-
unfortunate, but we can't,
I
we
mailed
can't
the
go
check.
forward.
Is that in the bylaw? or
It's in the regulations, and it's in the advertisement, when you go to advertise, and I know I told you about it.
No, you provided that, so I'm just confirming for my own.
we actually discussed this last meeting, that it wasn't open, that we were gonna do it.
That was a holiday that,
Right,
residential.
and you brought the tear sheet.
You did have the tear sheet
And
last
For
time.
that one.
Right.
And
For
that's
that
how
one.
we made, that's when it was in the paper, and we realized it wasn't enough time.
Right. I'm not seeing, and I'm not trying to be argumentative, I'm just trying to find the exact language.
The bottom of one of the
No.
sheets,
I don't think we should be.
I know, we don't have to do this, I mean,
No.
Right, I mean,
We don't
right
have
now,
to-
it's like you're saying, you
done.
prove that, we
Done
need to
deal.
prove that we require it.
No,
It
we don't.
means, you know,
We don't.
I'm sorry, but we can't go forward. Why don't we move on to the next item?
That
We didn't
the,
vote on anything, right?
back under it,
Didn't open.
back under informal, Bill,
Yep,
Just, no, it has to
Mr.
be.
Chairman?
okay.
Do we have to tell them that?
And so-
okay, gotcha.
Okay. Okay, moving on. Gail has published the proposed schedule for the next, series of meetings for January through June of next year. Can everyone take a look at those, or we'll vote on them at the next meeting? Okay. The last order of business was an issue that came up beginning of, was it last week before?
A week ago Monday?
Last Monday, where we received a complaint of motorized vehicle in the terms of a bulldozer, potentially knocking trees down and making roads on town conservation property off of Hewitt Pond. Okay. Azu and I did a site visit on Wednesday of that week and ascertained that there was no wetland violation in terms of, as it relates to the wetland area around Hewitt's Pond, but there certainly was activity, noticeable activity of damage both to the trees and the ground area on town property behind, what's the address there?
Oh, it's behind 169 Catherine.
169 Catherine Road.
Right.
Catherine Way, rather. We provided pictures of the damage that was noticed in the area, as well as some of the areas that were impacted. Again, no wetlands violation, but definitely a violation on town property. So we've notified the town administrator as well as the police to take notice of that action in the area so that we can be on top of this going forward. Okay.
Bill, where on that property, where is that? I didn't get a chance to get down. I'm just curious as to how they access.
If you're coming up from the way Bill and I went we went Rogers Way,
Yeah.
and then we went by the pond, and then that there was circumferential path that goes around the pond, sort of almost 3/4 way around, or half move, if you will, around. You can see it. I mean, they're building fresh jumps for dirt bags.
Well, but I'm just curious, they must have to go through somebody's property.
They went through the,
Town property.
they went through
No, they had to go
169.
somebody's private
No.
property to get onto the town property.
Or the school property.
Okay.
Or through the school
I was
property.
just curious how, well, so
This one is 169,
They went through 169,
And I guess the big
Catherine's Way.
question
they
was,
did, okay.
we think.
were there visible?
Well, yes, there were.
Were there visible tracks
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
across his property?
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
Across the
Well,
property of
We
one.
didn't walk his property because
Yeah, but could
that's
you-
private property.
But could you see
see
where the dozer entered with
Yeah.
the
it
track
appears to be.
through his lawn?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
Through the lawn or through the cul-de-sac?
It was through the dirt.
it was
Oh,
through the dirt.
lawn,
Yeah.
I mean,
It
through
was
his
right
property.
off of Catherine's Way.
And it went,
On the
the
cul-de-sac.
tracks went across his property onto the
That's correct.
conservation.
Right.
That's correct.
And then he dug up his property, and then he went beyond his property, out into the town land and made a circle. It looks like
So,
a dirt track and back in.
I guess,
Well,
it's kind of,
let's back up here for a quick second, though. We saw that, but you can't not prove that somebody else didn't trespass his property.
Right, yeah,
That
no,
can be,
right,
that
right.
argument can be made
Right.
by an attorney, that
well,
you didn't see him.
that's what I'm trying to get at.
Yeah.
I think,
Visually, yeah, but.
I would think it's kind of out of our hands
It-
and should go to the town attorney.
Yeah.
Because let him bring the person in and question them.
Well, they
Not
have
us.
to, they have to the town has to physically go out there and look at the same evidence that we saw.
Yeah, and then make a determination
And
whether
then
they're
they
gonna
can determine
pursue
what the next steps
criminal
are.
trespassing charges or whatever.
But since there is no wetlands violation,
Well,
it's out of our hands.
I have a question.
Yeah.
You went down the ramp at the end of Catherine's Way, turned right, and went into the property?
No, we walked from.
We walked from
Rogers.
The machine or whatever
As far
went
as-
down the ramp and then turned right into the property?
Yes.
Or entered the property from the cul-de-sac?
No, Catherine Way, the unimproved part.
Yep, the
You can
ramp
see- You
down.
can see the access, yes, yes.
Okay, it's
And they
down past the base of that ramp anywhere
Yeah,
on the right-hand side is
Right,
wetlands.
right.
In between that roadway and the berm, there's a
Right,
berm there?
right.
That is all wetlands. If they crossed that, then there's an enforcement order issue.
Yeah, but you gotta know who,
It looks just right behind
Well,
the property.
it's like we have an enforcement order against the state right now over here because RK did the work.
right.
If he's the property owner, which it looks like he's this 169 is the property owner.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. We didn't do a survey to find out exactly where the boundary is.
Okay,
So.
well, I
so
know
we're
that,
speculating.
that base of the Catherine's Way ramp and the right side of it is the reason that it wasn't paved as an emergency access road, because it was all flagged. It was, there were moths found in
I
there.
don't think he went that far down.
No.
I think
It starts right at the end of Catherine's Way.
Yeah, but if you look at where the cul-de-sac loops there,
Yeah.
that Catherine's Way, just beyond his property, if you look at it's in your, do they have a copy
Yeah,
of
that's
this?
awesome.
Yeah, we all have a copy, yeah. that's
There's
fine.
a dirt road or path
It goes to the right.
that goes to the right, and we also
That
saw.
doesn't belong there.
That doesn't belong there. We also saw a trailer used to move large vehicles, like a bulldozer, parked on Catherine's Way.
Right.
Okay. This is conservation land, according to the maps and stuff. To survey this parcel, what would it cost us? What would our resources be? Can we use our wetlands fund to, you know the fund I'm talking about, can we use that to survey this property? We can use it to pay for consulting. I don't see why we couldn't use it to pay for our
Well,
consultant to survey it.
that'll be a part of consulting, but I don't know why you wanna incur that expense.
Well,
There
for
may be
another
other houses
reason,
violations.
there's another violation, potential violation further up, which looks like we now have a swimming pool on our conservation land. So that could be considered a town
We all
pool,
use it, town pool.
Yeah,
It's a town pool.
you know? I don't have a pool at home, so my kids might really enjoy having a pool on town land.
I would probably really think or do what the chairman suggested here. Let the town town administrator and the police take a crack at it, you know? So,
So it's not ours.
yeah.
Do we know if the dirt part?
Because I said, there's numerous dust piles all over the place,
There's
which,
numerous paths as well.
you
What I
know,
wanted to ask is, at the end of Catherine's Way, at the end of the cul-de-sac, where it
Right.
goes down the hill through the vinyl fence, to when we get to the end of Rogers Way, it looks like it's on private property on both sides. Does the town have a right-of-way, a legal right-of-way for that dirt section that goes from Catherine's to Rogers?
well, Hewitt's Pond, it's a great pond, so you have all that access around it is,
No, I
public has
Fire
right to
department
it.
must have something,
But
because that's.
if I look at this map right here, I look at the end of Catherine's Way, and it goes all the way through, and it looks like it's on that homeowner's.
It is.
Yeah.
It's an easement.
There's an easement.
And that's what I'm asking, if the town has a right of way, an
Yeah, the
easement.
fire department can go through.
Okay.
So,
So legally, we can walk that whole walkway and
Yes.
not be trespassing.
Yes, yes.
But I can't walk across
You
his
can't
property
go
to
onto
see
it, no.
if the track continues.
So we can walk
Right.
down the path all the
Right.
way to the back of Rogers Way.
And we came in, there's a footpath that's called Rogers Lane, that goes around the pond, and we were able to walk that and visually see the area impacted and walk onto town land and see where it was also destroyed.
and the reason you wanna kind of refer to the selectman, to the town administrator, to the police, is because some of that stuff is on town land. So the town, the policing authority is about much more better equipped. Because if you're gonna go after that person and you're trying to prove that he or she is responsible, you ain't incurring the expense. Then when you get to the point where it's also happening on town-owned property, then who do you give enforcement order? yes, the state with the mass dot, you know, so I think you want to start with the pollution aspect of it.
Yeah, I think that we need to move this to the selectmen, notify them of what we found, let them move forward with it, and if they need our help going forward,
Correct.
we can be available.
I'm gonna make a motion that the chairman contact the town administrator, and if need be, go to the selectmen's meeting and present these pictures and your findings that you went out there and walked.
Do we, real quick before we do a second, do we still need to confirm this line? So when this is brought before the town administrator, town council, selectmen, that we know what the boundary line is? So we're giving them something like, hey, here's the boundary line, you guys decide.
No, you don't want to incur that
No,
expense.
no.
You don't want to
Let
incur
them,
that
if
expense.
they're going to pursue it, let the town, right?
But
Based on based on the GIS maps that we have that are available to us to use, it looks as though that's the incursion. We can ask them to look into that, and if they need to go further, in other words, they need to go to the assessors.
that was
to
gonna be
look
my
for that.
point. They can go to the
Let-
assessors,
let the
and like Bill
selectmen do
said,
it.
get the points for that one where we think there might be a town pool.
And let the selectmen deal with that, okay?
You can
And make our services available to them if needed.
Absolutely.
I'll second Dave's motion.
All in favor?
All right.
Aye.
All right.
Okay.
Probably need a note to go to the
You know,
selectmen to say
you
that you want to turn around and present it.
Inform, no, I don't need to go to the meeting, but
No, just send them.
we send them a letter. Randy knows what's going on
Yes, he does.
already. He already has the pictures, so this is a formal request from the Conservation Commission that we see a violation of town property.
The only thing is, Bill, if you're going to send this to the selectmen, do it, if you're not gonna go personally, do it in writing,
Yes,
So that's what we,
yeah, that's what we're talking about.
Well, I mean,
so that it's an official correspondence.
my purpose behind asking you to go to the actual meeting to present it would be so that you can explain the technical aspect to it that maybe the town administrator can't.
What I can do is give them this information, and if they ask us to go to the meeting
Right,
to explain some of it, we can do that.
yeah.
Okay.
You looking for another motion, Mr. Chairman?
I think that's all we have.
So there's one more motion.
That's right. That's what
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
All in favor?
Second,
Shouldn't
I
it be seconded?
seconded.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.